Hello, this is Shay Jackson with Hype Math. In today's video, we will be reviewing for the 2022 Texas STAAR math test for 8th graders. Our concept is slope and rate of change. This is part 2. Remember, 8th graders, every day may not be good, but there is something good in every day. We have our 8th grade STAAR Math Review Workbook available for purchase in our store. The link is in the description box so that you can grab yours today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell, and smash that like button so that you will be alerted to new videos we upload, and also spread the word about Hype Math. We greatly appreciate your support. So let's review rate of change. Well, what is it? A rate of change is a ratio that compares the amount of change in a dependent variable to the amount of change in an independent variable. The slope of the line represents the rate of change. When graphing the rate of change, if all the points have the same rate of change, which means it has the same steepness, they will form a straight line. So let's talk about the steps on how to find the slope of the line. 1. Choose any 2 points on the line. Begin at any one of the points. Count vertically, that means up or down, until you are even with the second point. This is your rise. Count over, which means left or right. For your second point, this is your run, and then you divide to find the slope. Remember, with rising, if you go down, the rise will be negative, and if you go up, the rise will be positive. For run, if you go to the left, the run will be negative, and if you go to the right, the run will be positive. So let's take a look at an example. We are going to choose 2 points on our graph, and we have -2, 3, and 0, -3. Step 2, begin at any one of the points. We are going to start at -2, 3. We are going to count vertically, and if you notice, we are going down. So our rise, as we said, is going to be negative. It's -6. And then we're going to count horizontally. Because we're going to the right, our run is going to be positive, and it is equal to 2. Now we need to divide to find the slope. Our rise is -6 divided by 2. That is equal to -3. Let's dive into a question. And remember, we have our 8th grade math review workbook available for purchase. Number 14 says, Joseph ran a 6-mile race in 48 minutes. Which graph has a slope that best represents Joseph's average rate of speed during the race? Is it F? And looking at F's graph, we see that our time is in the x-axis and we're counting by ones. And for distance, it's in miles for the y-axis, and we're counting by ones as well. For H, same thing. We have our x-axis, the time is by ones, and for our y-axis, it's our distance, and we're counting by miles by ones. The same thing also for G and H. The only difference is the slope. Okay? In order to solve this problem, the first thing we're going to ask ourselves is, what are we looking for? We are looking for the graph with the slope that best represents Joseph's average rate of speed during the race. Now that we know what we're looking for, our next question is, well, what information can help find the answer? And the information that can help find the answer is that Joseph ran a 6-mile race in 48 minutes. Now that we know that, how are we going to solve the problem? Well, we need to find our rate of change. So in order to do that, we have 48 minutes over 6 miles, okay? 48 minutes over 6 miles, and that is equal to 8 minutes per mile. So one of our order pairs would be 8. That's our x-axis for minutes, and where the 8 is, we have a 1. So what is our correct answer? Let's look at our answer choices to see which one shows that for 8 minutes, there is 1 mile. Is it F? All right, let's look. So for 8 minutes on F, no, there's no point that is shown. For H either, and we're looking again at our x-axis where it says time minutes. For 8, there's no point that shows that it's a 1. For G, yes, we have 8 minutes and then we show 1 mile. And then for J, it's just showing straight up that it's always going to be 8, no matter for our Y, no matter what the Y is, no matter what the X is, it will always be 8 for the X, okay? So our correct answer is G. G is the correct answer for 8-1. Good job, 8th graders. Let's look at number 15. A water hose discharges water at the rate of 45 gallons per minute. Which graph has a slope that best represents this rate? Is it F? Okay, well, looking at F, we see that we have for our x-axis time in minutes, and it is counting by ones. For our y-axis, we have gallons, and we are counting by 15 for our y-axis. The same thing for H, also for G and J, okay? For all of them, we have minutes for our time for our x-axis counting by ones, and then for our y-axis, we're counting by 15. In order to solve this problem, the first thing we need to do is ask ourselves, what are we looking for? We are looking for the graph with the slope that best represents the discharge rate. Now that we know what we're looking for, our next question is, what information can help find the answer? And the information that can help find the answer is that the water hose discharges water at a rate of 45 gallons per minute. Now that we have that information, well, how do we solve the problem? Again, we are going to look for the rate of change. So we know that for 45 gallons, that water is discharged 45 gallons per minute. So let's set up our table. For 1 minute is 45 gallons, and what I'm going to do is plus 45 for every minute, okay? So for 2 minutes, it's 90 gallons, and for 3 minutes, it's 135 gallons. So in order for us to find the correct answer, what we need to do is look at our graphs to see which one shows for the x-axis where there's a 1, it is 45. For 2, it is 90. And then for 3, it's 135. So let's look. Okay, for F, we see for 1 on the x-axis, it does have a cross. The dot is at 45. For 2, yes, the dot is at 90. And for 3, it is at 135. So it doesn't look like we need to go any further, 8th graders, because we know our answer. The correct answer is F. The water hose discharges water at a rate of 45 gallons per minute, and our slope is correct for the graph on F or in F. And that is it, 8th graders, for our slope and rate of change part 2. Remember, we have our 8th grade math review workbook available for purchase in our store. This is Shay Jackson with Hype Math. I will talk to you later.